About Israel?
Well, I admire Israel and the Israeli people very much, and it is because of what they have achieved. Israel is a high-tech community. Israel as a country has developed more patents, I believe, than China and India combined. And you think about how Israel started, a patch of desert with not a lot. And yet this incredible nation has been created out of almost nothing. But of course it's been created out of the entrepreneurship, the determination, the dedication of so many people. I think it's inspiring. I think it's an example of the 21st century and the possibilities of the 21st century.
And why do you think the bond between the countries is so important?
I think it's so important because we are in many ways each other's best friend. Israel is perhaps our best friend in the world, and the U.S. will always be Israel's best friend in the world. And we are best friends because we are both democracies. Israel is, of course, the only democracy in the middle of a very important and volatile region of the world. And because we share values. We share the values that say every human being has potential and every life is to be celebrated and protected.
Would you like to see the Israeli government continue the settlement freeze and maybe approaching the Palestinians leaders in a way that can proceed into negotiation in a better way?
I think Prime Minister Netanyahu said yesterday, actually, on a news program here in the United States, that he was prepared to sit down and have talks with no preconditions with President Mahmoud Abbas at any time. And I cannot think of a more open gesture when already, in an unprecedented way, he has frozen settlements. And so, frankly, I think the ball is in President Abbas's court now.
Are you dissatisfied with the way the current administration is handling the peace process in Israel?
I hope that in the most recent visit between President Obama and Prime Minister Netanyahu, that we are on the same page. I was disappointed that our administration here in the United States was as openly critical as it was of Netanyahu and the settlements process, and I frankly think that the disproportionate condemnation that Israel received for its decision to protect itself against a provocation caused by the flotilla, I wish that we had stood up a bit stronger and said that Israel had always the right to defend itself.
Will you take that stand also when it's come to approaching Iran? How would you think if the Israeli government will continue with unilateral act against Iran?
We cannot permit Iran to achieve nuclear weapons. We cannot permit that. And so the U.S. must do everything in our power to prevent Iran from gaining nuclear capability. We frankly have not done everything in our power. Thankfully, we have now passed a sanctions bill through the U.S. Senate and the House. I wish it had passed last year when it could have. But now that it has passed, our president must immediately take on actually executing those sanctions and cutting off the capital flow to the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, curtailing the sale of refined petroleum products into Iran. These are important actions that we must take. We should encourage our European allies to do the same. And I also think we should be encouraging the elements of reform that are going on inside Iran. We must always stand by Israel's necessity to defend itself, but frankly, I do not think we should leave it up to Israel to have to make the decision on their own to take what is an awful choice when Iran already has a nuclear weapon. We must do everything we can now to prevent that occurrence.
Moving into economic question, how do you see a decision or a new legislation that will suggest to put a cap on executive pay and have limited, payment salaries in a way that, the gap between the rich and the poor will not be so big? I mean, in the U.S. and everywhere else, I guess.
I think that